Today is all about classic farm-to-table comfort food.
Tender leaves of cabbage, a delicious tomato sauce,
And a rice and beef filling that'll knock your socks off.
every bite is like a hug from Grandma. Not my grandma.
My grandma, I'm telling you, she loved to cook with cabbage, and she would love to give you a hug. Oh, Grandma. Okay, so we're doing the cabbage rolls, you guys. You may think cabbage rolls, they're delicious, and they're so much fun. So before we talk a little more about that, let's talk cabbage.
Yeah, let's talk see what did you do to this cabbage?
So this is a nice big, find the biggest green cabbage you can find. And then just to make the removal of the leaves a little easier, I just get a sharp knife. You got to be super careful when you do this, and just cut away the top portion of the core. You don't have to get real deep in there, but that's going to just help these leaves start to be free. Now I've got a nice pot here. You just want to get the biggest pot you've got and fill it with water and bring it to a boil. Now again, you got to be very, very careful because you're dealing with boiling water. So I'm just using something. I've used heat-resistant gloves. Just don't drop it in there and then splash boiling water all over the place. And then it doesn't even have to completely submerge. Just sort of like let it rotate around in there. And you may see
makes it so much easier.
It makes it. I think it makes it easy. There are some people I know that I've never done this before, but a very typical or a traditional way of doing this is to freeze your cabbage, and then you just have to give it. Yes, I know, and it's best if you take the core out first, just like we did, and then you freeze it, and then when you let it thaw, those leaves just come around or come off very easily, sort of like they hopefully are going to start doing.
Yeah, they
here.
totally. Now there are so many different types of cabbage rolls. I think there's a lot of like Middle Eastern cabbage rolls.
Yes.
Italian cabbage rolls.
Yeah.
But these are kind of more like the like Lancaster County, Pennsylvania
Amish.
Dutch.
We first got
Amish,
all right. This is the first one's got has a little bruising and a little debris
We're
on
gonna
it.
put that to the side.
Put that to the side, and then so the first time I really remember having them and falling in love with them was when we lived up in New Jersey. And,
oh yes, that
and
restaurant.
we were not too far. Well, no, we were not too far from Lancaster County.
Right, but there was a restaurant we went to.
Yes, and it was run by, I believe, Mennonites, and we had these, and they were just so, like I said, farm to table. Just like literally, they went and picked
Look at
this.
how easy that is.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Bring them on over here, and I'm gonna pat
These are nice
dry.
big ones. We're gonna get.
They're
You never
big
know. I mean, sometimes I was at the store the other day, and the cabbages they had were a little smaller, and so we had smaller cabbage rolls. But that's okay. We're gonna we're going to and just kind of let this boil until they start to get easy. They just start to pull away. These are big ones.
These are huge.
These are your kind of rolls.
I know. There you go.
We could probably cut these in half.
We probably can.
Oh, look at that. That's
those
good.
are my kind of roll.
I know. Okay.
Rude.
Well, okay. So we're going to continue doing this until we've got almost down to the core, and then we get to make the sauce and the filling. Look at those.
Look,
beautiful.
They're huge, so we'll probably cut a couple of down.
Yeah, I mean,
to get two out of them.
You can go with just remember if you're going to do larger ones, you'll get more filling in there. If you've got smaller ones, you
can be like burritos.
I know, I love that. So anyway, I have got 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and to this I'm adding 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and we are going to add to that as soon as my butter melts. I've got a large onion that I peeled and then I sliced, kind of like you do for fajitas. And then I've got some, I always relate everything back to fajitas.
I know, and I relate everything to burritos.
Burritos and fajitas, there you go, that's our lives. And then I've got 3 celery ribs that I have cut up here, and we're basically just gonna saute these.
Get those all good and soft.
Just till they almost are caramelized. So, all right, I think we're good. Okay. Now I'm excited you're gonna make the beef filling.
Yeah, so I've got a pound of ground beef here, and I'm going to add a chopped chopped onion. This is a medium-sized onion. And then I have some rice.
that you said that was ground. I wasn't
Yeah,
listening.
a pound of ground beef.
Yeah, and we go with I'm sorry, I'm interrupting, but the cool thing about this is you don't have to cook this ahead of time. We're going to bake them, and they bake, and it cooks in the oven. So you don't want to get a real fatty. I get like 90% lean.
Okay.
Then you don't get a lot of grease. Okay, go ahead.
So I threw in
Carry on.
the onion, and now I need my rice. I've got a cup of cooked rice. So good.
You can use long
it's
grain.
It's a nice filling. And then
It is.
Let's throw in this quarter cup of beef stock.
Let's do it.
Let's do that.
Let's just do it.
And then I've got some spices here. I've got a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of paprika, smoked paprika, and then a teaspoon of oregano.
Just to bump up the flavor.
Throw those. Oh, they're this is good.
This
and
is
then
good.
I've got a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper. There we go. And I'm just gonna mix this all up.
Mix it.
I might throw on some gloves and get this mixed
Oh yeah,
a
you can
little
do that.
better. Yeah.
I've always said your hands are your best kitchen tools.
I know.
If they're clean.
Exactly. All right, how are you doing there?
I'm good. This is going to take. I'm going to let this go for about 15 minutes. I'm not going to completely caramelize them, but I want them to get up where they're on their way.
All right.
And that's going to take about 15 minutes. And you're going to.
I'm gonna throw on a pair of gloves and get these real mixed together.
All right. How's it coming?
I feel like when I did this the other day, it was.
You had something else in there?
Oh, the egg!
You forgot your egg.
Thank God you're here.
One lightly beaten
There you
egg.
go. Look at that, though, guys.
It's basically kind of like a meatloaf.
It
You're doing a
is. Little
miniature
meatloafs wrapped in cabbage.
It's so good. Okay.
I think now I'm getting. It's starting to feel correct now.
Good. Oh, everything is smelling so good. So you see how I let these go for probably 20 minutes. If you need to chill your meat, no problem. But I just like to get them nice and soft and see how they're starting to brown. They're not completely 100% caramelized, but they're very tender, and it just starts to bring out a little bit of that sweetness. We've got our oven preheated to 350 back there. Now I've got a quarter cup of tomato paste that I'm going to just incorporate into these sauteed vegetables for like a minute or so.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'm gonna start rolling my cabbage rolls. Just to tell you, no Cabbage Patch dolls were harmed during the making of these cabbage rolls.
I know, never. Yeah, well, sort of. I was never really into them, but oddly enough.
I wasn't either.
Well, that is strange.
Anyway, so
Those are huge.
this is a giant cabbage leaf. So I'm going to cut this in half, actually. And I think
That's like a Texas-sized cabbage, I guess.
And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice out the core right here, because that can lead to being tough. Tough for rolling purposes.
They definitely tend to get they're already tender, but they get really tender as they bake.
Yes.
These are going to bake for an hour. But it doesn't hurt to go ahead and cut away a little bit of that.
There we go. That'll make two nice sized ones right
Okay,
there.
so while you're doing that, I am going to add, I got this from a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. Usually, if you know me, I love to cook with San Marzano tomatoes that I crush with my hands. But I thought today, I want a very smoother tomato sauce. We've got our vegetables in there. So I went with crushed tomatoes. I think it's good. And then now this is the interestingness that I love about the sauce. It's got a little tang. This is a quarter cup of lemon juice. And then it's got a little sweetness. This sweet component really adds a depth of flavor that is just so perfect with that filling. Okay?
Okay.
Now let me and then I'm just going to add a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of black pepper, and then we're gonna let it simmer.
And I have got like a fistful of meat right here. And is that good, Chris? I mean, you think we can get six? I think I'm gonna have about six of these.
Yeah, I think so.
All right,
yeah.
so this is a good size. I'm just gonna kind of
do that. I mean,
together.
actually, the other day when we were playing with these, I got my meat out, and I knew how many of these I had, and I divided it into the equal portions.
Oh, God.
But you're good at eyeballing.
I'm a good eyeballer. All right,
You
guys,
are.
I'm just rolling. And as I roll, I just kind of want to tuck in the sides as well so that they will not fall out. So
Yes.
there we go. Just,
And these are meant to be, not perfectly shaped.
No, no.
It's
ooh, that
home
one, I think
cooking.
this is a little big, but that's okay.
Well, that's all right. That's okay.
Let me try another one. All right, y'all, here we go.
So one per person is perfect.
Yes. All right, here. That's a little better. That's a
Okay.
little more manageable.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you want to get the sides tucked in if
Yes.
possible.
All right, so here we go. Oh, yes, that's better.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Okay, here we go. Rolling, rolling, rolling. There we go. Look at that. There we go.
That's perfect.
There we go. All right, I'm gonna keep on rolling.
You keep doing this. I'm gonna let this simmer. By the time you get done with that, it'll be about 15 minutes, and then we get them in the oven.
Awesome. All right, so those were, you know, a little giant, so I cut them in half. I'm kind of disappointed in them. So I'm gonna do one that's like right here.
I think they're perfectly
I know, but I
fine.
wanted to, you know, save myself. All right, here, like there, this is a perfect size. You can bring it in.
Yeah.
There you go. And then you got the hard part on the bottom.
Easier to-
Perfect. Now that's perfect. Why couldn't I have showed you this the first time?
Oh, well, these will be great
I'll
too.
eat them.
I know, they'll be great. They're going to be perfect.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Just tuck and roll, tuck and
Tuck and
roll.
roll. All right.
Okay,
Okay.
we got our beautiful sausage.
And I've got these. I got 2 crappy ones and 4 good ones.
They're not crappy.
I know.
They look good.
They'll taste good.
They were that was a giant head of cabbage. No, wait.
Oh, that's right,
So
that's right,
anyway,
that's right.
I've got to put. I'm going to put a thin layer of sauce down on the bottom, and just you know, everyone likes a nice foundation of sauce. And
There we go. That looks
what was I
good.
going to say? Oh, so obviously, if you've got smaller, I don't know, if you've got smaller leaves of cabbage, then you're going to get like I've made this many times, and there have been times I've gotten 12.
I know. That's because you had a, I don't know.
I had it was a large head of cabbage. It just the leaves were a little smaller, so I got more leaves to
All
them.
right, I'm going to snug these in here.
Out of the way.
Get this over here.
Okay, while you're doing
Hold on,
that.
I'm going to bring the big fatty in here.
Okay.
That is a burrito.
Oh yes. And then we're going to top these with some more of this sauce. The sauce is so yummy. I always like to leave a little behind so you can serve it at the table. My mouth is
There we
watering.
go. Those look great.
Doesn't that look great?
They look great in the pan. So no matter what they look like over here, they look awesome in there.
They do. I mean, this is home cooking at its best.
All right, am I done with gloves? I'm done with gloves today.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. So you don't have to completely. They're not like enchiladas where you have to just. We measure everything in
I think
Tex-Mex.
maybe we should do Tex-Mex cabbage rolls.
Well, it's a thought. Okay. So now we've got our. Like I said, we've got our oven Don't those look pretty?
Those look great.
Preheated to 350. We're gonna let since these are big ones, we're gonna let these go about 55 to 60 minutes. If they were smaller, I'd say like 45
Right,
minutes.
we want to get that meat cooked
Fully
inside
cooked.
there.
All right, now we just wait. Oh, it smells so
Yes, they do smell
good.
good.
Smell good. Oh, look at those. That is just.
Yes, I got it.
Thank you. That is just homey goodness.
Oh,
Beautiful. I just love it.
Oh, it looks really hot.
It did, yeah. So now these went for about 50 minutes. I used my trusty ThermoPro, which we can give you a discount. We have a link to it in our description. You want the interior to get like in the. Like 145 is a good temperature, and these were definitely done at 50 minutes, so that's good. So they are molten
Can we
hot.
wait for a second?
Yeah, I would recommend letting the sauce kind of just settle down a little bit, and maybe give it 5-10 minutes, and then we're gonna dig.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay.
The time has come.
Yes. Hold on, though. I want to put a little sauce on the bottom.
I know. We like we said,
Like just a little bit of sauce.
a little extra sauce. Table side is always good.
Now I'm gonna give you some too. Here you go. Here you go, Mr. Man.
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
Okay.
Come on over. Oh, yes.
Yum. Now you could certainly serve 2 per serving
that.
if you got a hungry family.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, and then I like a little more sauce on top.
Me too. Give me some too.
Okay, I'll
Please.
give you a little more here.
I'm gonna spread it all over.
Please. Oh my goodness.
Yum.
And then, just because it makes everything pretty, do a little parsley. We gotta make it look
Love
pretty.
it. That looks gorgeous.
This is just home cooking at its best.
Hold on. Make sure everybody can see. Chris. There we go.
Okay.
Yay!
If it tastes near as good as it smells, we are in business.
All right, I'm gonna cut mine open so I can make
so
sure
tender.
everybody sees it.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Oh, that's great.
Doesn't that look good?
Oh,
Oh,
you guys. Let me just turn it around.
my mouth just
Show
watered.
everybody. You guys, look at that. Look at that.
Beautifully cooked.
Oh, now those are some stuffed cabbage rolls.
They are.
All right, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna make a mess. So
Yeah, this is not this is a messy It's Wesley trying to get like a clean, for our opening. Never easy.
Hold on, Chris. Don't eat it yet. Is it hot?
It's manageable. I think it's pretty. It's perfectly fine.
Okay, you know me. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay. Wow.
They're like delicious little meatloaves.
That cabbage is perfect.
Encased in perfectly cooked cabbage.
Oh.
And then that tomato sauce. Don't you love just there's a touch of sweetness in, I know you don't always like sweetness in savory.
No,
things,
it's perfect.
but it goes with the cabbage.
And, I love this cabbage. It's tender, but there's a little crunch to it, which I love. Okay.
Oh my goodness gracious.
The innards. I love the innards.
I do too.
Eat some more of the innards.
We're just sitting here. We haven't eaten today.
I know.
So we're just going to sit here and eat.
Wow. All right.
Let's get down to business.
These are 100,000% Loon approved.
Yeah,
They're so good. I could put a little Parmesan on top if I want.
You could.
Maybe some hot sauce.
You put mozzarella on these before.
Oh, yeah.
The sky's the limit. All right, you guys. I gotta stop eating my cabbage. We love you.
I'm gonna keep eating.
Keep eating. Make cabbage rolls. They're fun. You can
Have fun.
Change them up if you want
Yes,
to.
totally.
But trust me, you're gonna love them. All right, bye everybody.
Bye everybody.
We love you.
Do a cabbage roll.